Tonight you are not listening to a rumor or a myth, but a warning born from lived experience. What you eat can be more than nourishment, it can be an invitation. As an ex which I stand to expose hidden doors that were quietly opened through ordinary meals and innocent-looking foods. Many people pray and fast yet unknowingly consume items that were once used as vessels for dark agreements. This message is not to create fear, but to awaken discernment, so you can guard your body, mind, and spirit. What enters your mouth can influence what gains access to your life, and once you understand this truth, you will never eat the same way again. What I am about to reveal is not meant to scare you, but to strengthen you, because truth always empowers those who are willing to hear it. In the hidden world, certain foods are never chosen by accident, because they are known to absorb intention with unusual ease. I watched ordinary meals become spiritual containers, simply because words were spoken over them with focus and agreement. These foods looked harmless, smelled familiar, and tasted normal, yet they carried unseen assignments. Many people suffer confusion, heaviness, or restlessness, and never suspect what entered their body through routine eating. Awareness is the first shield because nothing hidden can rule once it is exposed to light. In those practices, food was treated as a doorway because consumption was seen as acceptance. When intention is planted into something edible, it is believed to travel inward and settle quietly within the inner life. This is why some attacks feel slow, subtle, and difficult to explain, because they do not come with noise. The body becomes the meeting place where influence begins to whisper instead of shout. People blame stress or fatigue while the root remains untouched and unchallenged. Once you understand this, you realize why discernment matters not just in prayer, but in daily choices. But hear this clearly: knowledge does not make you weak, it makes you powerful. The moment you become aware, you are no longer passive, and passivity is what darkness depends on. These practices only work where people remain unaware and disconnected from authority. When you recognize that nothing has the right to enter your life without permission, you reclaim control. Your body was never meant to be a storage place for foreign influence. It was designed to be a dwelling of peace, strength, and purpose under divine covering. This is why intention matters on your side as well. When you bless what you eat, you are not repeating a habit. You are asserting ownership. You are declaring that nothing hidden, nothing spoken in secret, nothing planted without consent can remain. Words spoken in truth carry more power than words spoken in deception. Darkness does not fight awareness, it flees from it. Once light touches what was hidden, the assignment collapses. Do not live fearful, live informed and grounded. Eat with gratitude, clarity, and confidence, knowing that nothing has authority over you without permission. Your awareness breaks cycles that once operated silently. Today you choose wisdom over ignorance and strength over uncertainty. And with that choice, every door that was opened without knowledge is now closed in truth. Many people never realize that agreement can happen without words, because in the unseen realm, actions speak loudly. In those practices, eating was understood as a form of consent, because what you receive into your body is what you allow to interact with your inner life. I witnessed how meals were used as silent contracts where nothing was explained, yet everything was understood spiritually. People were targeted not by force, but by familiarity and routine. The danger was never in the food itself, but in the hidden intention attached to it. This is why so many felt affected yet could not trace the moment it began. What makes this truth sobering is that consent without knowledge still carried consequences in that world. When a person consumed something that was spiritually altered, it was believed to grant access quietly and gradually. There was no dramatic moment, no sudden fear, just a slow shift in thoughts, emotions, and desires. Confusion would increase, peace would decrease, and clarity would fade. People blamed their environment, their past, or their emotions, while the real doorway remained unseen. This is how influence survives, by staying unnamed. The most painful part was seeing good people question themselves instead of questioning the source. They felt heaviness and pressure and assumed it was their weakness or failure. Yet what they experienced was the result of an agreement they never knew they made. Darkness thrives where people blame themselves instead of recognizing intrusion. Once a person accepts false guilt, they stop resisting, and resistance is what closes doors. Understanding this truth restores dignity and strength to those who have felt overwhelmed without explanation. But here this truth clearly: once consent is exposed, it can be revoked. No agreement made in ignorance has the right to remain once truth is known. The moment you become aware, you step out of victimhood and into authority. You are not powerless, you were uninformed, and those are not the same. Awareness shifts the balance and breaks silent permissions. What once entered quietly must leave when confronted by truth. This is why revelation is an act of freedom, not fear. When you know better, you stand stronger and choose more wisely. Nothing can remain hidden when light is welcomed. Today you reclaim your authority and withdraw every permission given without knowledge. And with that decision, every silent doorway is now closed. Freedom does not begin with fear, but with revelation that restores clarity to the soul. I learned that once truth is spoken, hidden influence loses its right to remain. What was done in secrecy depends on confusion to survive and silence to stay. The moment light enters, the story power shifts back to the one who was targeted. This is why exposure is not an attack, but an act of rescue and mercy. When truth arrives, authority awakens and strength rises from within. In that world, authority was feared more than rituals because authority cancels assignments. When a person understands who they are and whose they belong to, access is denied. No spirit can stay where rightful ownership is declared with confidence and peace. Blessing what you eat becomes a statement that nothing else may claim residence. This is not superstition, it is alignment with truth and purpose. Alignment restores order where intrusion once tried to settle. I watched influence lose its grip when people stopped reacting and started standing. Fear feeds darkness, but certainty starves it until it has nothing left. Authority does not shout, it speaks once, and the atmosphere changes. When you choose awareness, prayer, and intention, you reset the boundaries of your life. Your body becomes a place of peace rather than a battlefield of confusion. This shift happens not by effort, but by knowing your position. Revelation also brings healing because it removes false blame and shame. Many carried weight that was never theirs to carry in the first place. Once truth names the source, guilt dissolves and strength returns. You stop fighting yourself and start resisting what never belonged. This clarity restores joy, focus, and stability to the inner life. What was drained begins to refill with hope and confidence. Today you are not warned, you are equipped with understanding and authority. Nothing consumed unknowingly can override truth once it is declared. Light has already entered, and darkness cannot negotiate with clarity. Choose intention, gratitude, and awareness in every daily act. Stand firm in who you are and what you carry within, and with that decision, freedom becomes your dwelling place. Let this knowledge move you forward without fear and without hesitation. You are not reclaiming something lost, you are activating what was always yours. Every day becomes an opportunity to walk in clarity and peace. No hidden door remains open when truth stands guard. Authority rests with you now, and it is enough. Live free and stay rooted in the light. This message was never meant to create fear, but to awaken strength and awareness within you. What has been revealed loses its power to operate in secrecy and confusion. You are no longer unaware, and that alone changes everything. When truth is embraced, authority is restored, and peace follows. Walk forward with clarity, intention, and confidence, knowing that nothing has power over you without consent. From this moment, you stand guarded, informed, and free.